Hello everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Cassie and Family. On today's video, I'm going to show you how to make easy stovetop white rice. If you don't have a rice cooker or just want to learn how to make rice over the stove, then this video is for you. Disclaimer, I am recovering from a cold, so my voice may be a little wonky. Starting off, I'm going to use 2 cups of long grain jasmine white rice. You can use any other type of rice. Just keep in mind that the prep and the cook time can be different depending on the type of rice you choose. As long as it's white rice, it will work just fine. The steps are the same regardless of the rice you choose. Once you have your bowl of rice measured out and ready to go, now we're going to wash and prep the rice using cold water. Want to remove as much starch as possible. Avoid using hot water. That will start the cooking process and the rice will end up sticky and stringy. There are many different ways to wash rice. I find that using circular motions, clockwise then counterclockwise, is the easiest and gives off the best results. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to show you in a separate bowl how clear you want your water to be when removing starch from rice. The more you wash, the more starch will be removed. I was taught to always wash my rice until the water runs completely clear. Otherwise, you will end up with mushy rice. And unless you're trying to make rice pudding, we prefer a fluffy, firm, textured rice. Just continue to wash and rinse until the water is clear. Typically, I would be doing this in my sink. I sometimes even use a mesh strainer. That helps the process move a little bit faster. This process should only take a few minutes. For 2 cups, I washed my rice about 4 times. Always in circular motions, clockwise then counterclockwise. Now that you're done washing your rice, we're going to start cooking. I didn't show it in this video, but you will need a pot of boiling water or a kettle of water ready to go. You will need 3 simple ingredients, starting with green onion. This will be used to flavor our oil, but you can use any other aromatic that you would like. Some of my personal favorite are any other type of onion, thyme, or garlic. You will also need 1 tablespoon of salt and 3/4 cups of oil. I'm using vegetable oil, but any other oil will do, as long as it's not a flavored oil, such as peanut oil or coconut oil. You can also use a spray oil as well. And that is all you'll need to start cooking. Always adjust your measurements according to the quantity of rice. To a hot pan, add in your oil. Your pan should be piping hot. Throw in your aromatics of your choice. Remember to keep an eye on this process because it does go by very quickly. The goal is to flavor the oil. You'll want to keep your aromatics moving so that they do not burn. After about a minute, you'll want to add your salt. Keep everything stirring. The goal is to saute the aromatic, to flavor the oil. To avoid burning, just keep moving them around. This process goes by very quickly and you can easily burn your aromatic. So remember to stay near your stove. After about a minute or so, it will be time to add in your hot water. I add the water already pre-boiled to make the process go by faster. I use equal parts measurements for the water. 2 cups of rice equals 2 cups of water. Then I will remove the aromatics, but it's not necessary. If you want to leave them in, you can. At this time, you want to taste for salt. It's always easier to add more salt, but very difficult to remove it. Make sure the water is not too salty. The last step is to add in your rice. If you've made it this far into the video, I'd like to ask you for a huge favor. Please consider subscribing to the channel, liking this video, but most importantly, sharing it with a friend. Because believe it or not, it took me a while to master cooking white rice over the stove. It seems so simple, but it wasn't for me. My rice would always come out mushy, but after a while, I learned how to do it this way. I realized it's all about the technique, mastering timing and measurements. Once the water has reduced to this, turn your heat down on low, add the lid onto the rice, and allow it to steam for about 3 to 5 minutes. Do not remove the lid off of your pot during that process. At 5 minutes, then remove the lid. And using a fork, you're going to fluff the rice. I've done this process many different ways in the past, but I find that a fork works best. It somehow makes the rice really fluffy. I added the aromatics back into the rice per the request of my husband, as he enjoys eating it with the rice. Otherwise, I would have left it out. I usually take about 2 to 3 minutes to fluff my rice to make sure that it gets really fluffy. Some reason the fork always does the trick. After a couple of minutes, I like to taste the rice, making sure that it is fully cooked. If I find that the grains are too hard, simply add the lid and allow it to cook for another 3 minutes. If your rice is undercooked and there is no steam, just add a little bit of water before putting on the lid. It's easy to fix undercooked rice, impossible to remedy overcooked rice. And that's a job done. That's how you make easy stovetop white rice. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Please consider subscribing to this channel. Leave me a comment of what you'd like to see next. Like the video, share with a friend you know needs to see this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.